I stopped by Gary's office before leaving for the day. I'm calling it quits. Did you want to grab something to eat? Sure, just wait a second, he said. He shut down his computer and gathered some papers together. Then he looked up at me. Hey, want to come to my place for dinner tonight? I'll cook. I looked at him dubiously. You can cook. Just one dish, he admitted. But it's a good one. Sure, I said. I'm game. Great. We just need to go shopping for the ingredients. Don't go to any trouble. There's a market on the way to my house. It won't take a minute. We took separate cars, me following him. I almost lost him when he abruptly turned into a parking lot. It was a gourmet market, not large, but fancy. Tall glass jars stuffed with imported foods sat next to specialty utensils on the store's stainless steel shelves. I accompanied Gary as he collected fresh basil, tomatoes, garlic, linguine. There's a fish market next door. We can get fresh clams there, he said. Sounds good. We walked past the section of kitchen utensils. My gaze wandered over the shelves, pepper mills, garlic presses, salad tongs, and stopped on a wooden salad bowl. When you are 3, you'll pull a dish towel off the kitchen counter and bring that salad bowl down on top of you. I'll make a grab for it, but I'll miss. The edge of the bowl will leave you with a cut on the upper edge of your forehead that will require a single stitch. Your father and I will hold you, sobbing and stained with Caesar dressing, as we wait in the emergency room for hours. I reached out and took the bowl from the shelf. The motion didn't feel like something I was forced to do. Instead, it seemed just as urgent as my rushing to catch the bowl when it falls on you, an instinct that I felt right in following. I could use a salad bowl like this. Gary looked at the bowl and nodded approvingly. See, wasn't it a good thing that I had to stop at the market? Yes, it was. We got in line to pay for our purchases. Consider the sentence, the rabbit is ready to eat. Interpret, rabbit, to be the object of eat, and the sentence was an announcement that dinner would be served shortly. Interpret, rabbit, to be the subject of eat, and it was a hint, such as a young girl might give her mother so she'll open a bag of Purina Bunny Chow. 2 very different utterances. In fact, they were probably mutually exclusive within a single household. Yet either was a valid interpretation. Only context could determine what the sentence meant. Consider the phenomenon of light hitting water at one angle, and traveling through it at a different angle. Explain it by saying that a difference in the index of refraction caused the light to change direction, and one saw the world as humans saw it. Explain it by saying that light minimized the time needed to travel to its destination, and one saw the world as the heptapods saw it. 2 very different interpretations. The physical universe was a language with a perfectly ambiguous grammar. Every physical event was an utterance that could be parsed in 2 entirely different ways, one causal and the other teleological, both valid, neither one disqualifiable no matter how much context was available. When the ancestors of humans and heptapods first acquired the spark of consciousness, they both perceived the same physical world, but they parsed their perceptions differently. The worldviews that ultimately arose were the end result of that divergence. Humans had developed a sequential mode of awareness, while heptapods had developed a simultaneous mode of awareness. We experienced events in an order, and perceived their relationship as cause and effect. They experienced all events at once, and perceived a purpose underlying them all. A minimizing, maximizing purpose. I have a recurring dream about your death. In the dream, I'm the one who's rock climbing, me, can you imagine it, and you're 3 years old, riding in some kind of backpack I'm wearing. We're just a few feet below a ledge where we can rest, and you won't wait until I've climbed up to it. You start pulling yourself out of the pack, I order you to stop, but of course you ignore me. I feel your weight alternating from one side of the pack to the other as you climb out, then I feel your left foot on my shoulder, and then your right. I'm screaming at you, but I can't get a hand free to grab you. I can see the wavy design on the soles of your sneakers as you climb, and then I see a flake of stone give way beneath one of them. You slide right past me, and I can't move a muscle. I look down and see you shrink into the distance below me. Then, all of a sudden, I'm at the morgue. An orderly lifts the sheet from your face, and I see that you're 25. You okay? I was sitting upright in bed. I'd woken Gary with my movements. I'm fine. I was just startled. I didn't recognize where I was for a moment. Sleepily, he said, "We can stay at your place next time." I kissed him. "Don't worry, your place is fine." We curled up, my back against his chest, and went back to sleep. When you're 3 and we're climbing a steep, spiral flight of stairs, I'll hold your hand extra tightly. You'll pull your hand away from me. I can do it by myself, you'll insist, and then move away from me to prove it, and I'll remember that dream. We'll repeat that scene countless times during your childhood. I can almost believe that, given your contrary nature, my attempts to protect you will be what create your love of climbing. First the jungle gym at the playground, then trees out in the green belt around our neighborhood, the rock walls at the climbing club, and ultimately cliff faces in national parks. I finished the last radical in the sentence, put down the chalk, and sat down in my desk chair. I leaned back and surveyed the giant heptapod B sentence I'd written that covered the entire blackboard in my office. It included several complex clauses, and I had managed to integrate all of them rather nicely. Looking at a sentence like this one, I understood why the heptapods had evolved a semasiographic writing system like heptapod B. It was better suited for a species with a simultaneous mode of consciousness. For them, speech was a bottleneck because it required that one word follow another sequentially. With writing, on the other hand, every mark on a page was visible simultaneously. Why constrain writing with a glottographic straitjacket, demanding that it be just as sequential as speech? It would never occur to them. Semasiographic writing naturally took advantage of the page's two-dimensionality. Instead of doling out morphemes one at a time, it offered an entire page full of them all at once. And now that heptapod B had introduced me to a simultaneous mode of consciousness, I understood the rationale behind heptapod A's grammar. What my sequential mind had perceived as unnecessarily convoluted, I now recognized as an attempt to provide flexibility within the confines of sequential speech. I could use heptapod A more easily as a result, though it was still a poor substitute for heptapod B. There was a knock at the door and then Gary poked his head in. "Colonel Weber'll be here any minute." I grimaced. Right, Weber was coming to participate in a session with Flapper and Raspberry. I was to act as translator, a job I wasn't trained for and that I detested. Gary stepped inside and closed the door. He pulled me out of my chair and kissed me. I smiled. "You trying to cheer me up before he gets here?" "No, I'm trying to cheer me up." "You weren't interested in talking to the heptapods at all, were you? You worked on this project just to get me into bed." "Ah, you see right through me." I looked into his eyes. "You better believe it," I said.